Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
And we're back.
Let's go.
Three of us, anyway.
Three of us. We lost Justin. Justin has to get up for work extremely early.
Like in a couple hours.
Yes. and his children are being watched by another younger individual who's probably like, it's past my bedtime. So Justin had to skedaddle, but we are going to be here with you till the end of the first. So thank you for hanging out with us all night. We still got PT over here. Silent Assassin, the producer. We did miss a pick. The Green Bay Packers selected, was it Matthew Golden?
Yep.
Wide receiver. So tons of quarterbacks still on the board. Chad, I want to get your opinion then. Are the Browns staying pat? At this point, I think the Browns aren't trading back up.
Doesn't feel like it at all.
I don't see why their biggest needs are running back, wide receiver, and quarterback. And I think at 33, they're going to have their pick of the litter at pretty much any of those positions that they want.
They get all night and all day tomorrow to mull it over.
Yep.
Make that decision. Or trade it. They might trade it. Who knows?
Vikings just took a tackle, Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State.
Yep. I like him.
Yeah. So chat question. We're at 33. You've heard us talk about, I want to get your guys' opinion now. Dart, Sanders, Milroe, Shuck are all available. Are you going quarterback? Are you saving then pick 36 for running back? Are you trying to get a wide receiver in that position? What's your guys' strategy as we enter into round 2 tomorrow? Are you going quarterback at 33 now that it's probably not considered a reach? You know, a lot of people didn't want him to take him in the first because they didn't want to reach. Are you taking Shedeur at 33 now? Are you taking Dart? Which one are you picking? Don't say Milroe. I won't value your opinion.
Say Kyle McCord. He loves it.
Yeah, we're done in one. You can get QB, wide receiver, and running back, and strong fit in second and third. I agree. Perfect scenario for me, I guess, would be now that the receiver I really, really wanted is not available, I'm probably going quarterback, running back.
Yeah, to get the offense going for sure.
But do you agree with me that I really think one of those picks is going to be an offensive lineman? I really do. I don't think we're getting both a quarterback and a running back there because I think they're going to try to use running back at either 67 or move up from the third round to get their running back. I don't think they would take one at the top of the second.
So let's go look at running backs here. Best available. Well, PFF's weird. PFF has Cam Scatabo ranked above Henderson and Judkins.
No, huh?
There's no way. Yeah, they have Cam ranked above Caleb Johnson.
No. That's not right either. That's incorrect.
For me, the best remaining running backs in the draft would be Henderson, Judkins, Johnson, in that order for me. Okay. And then there's Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee. You still got Damian Martinez. You still have R.J. Harvey, DJ Giddens out of Kansas State. How far do you risk? Because I don't want just a solid guy. Mm-hmm. I would like to get a difference maker at the running back position.
Yeah, you need a difference maker to make that offense go. Like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt were
makers.
Yes,
we already have.
Oh, the Giants just traded up with Houston to 25.
Oh, so they're going to get
Here goes Shedeur or Jackson Dart, but they're coming up for a quarterback.
Oh, they love Jackson Dart though.
Woo. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what happens here. So now we've got Houston moves. What's the trade? I see they still have 34 somehow.
I think this is going to be for Dart.
Yeah.
I think it could be too. Interesting.
Which is going to make nothing I said tonight came to fruition. My hot take's going to be gone. I almost made it out.
You almost did. You got almost through the 20s.
I'm a little surprised if they do go quarterback here, which it feels like they're going to. Why?
Unless they had a guy that they wanted, and you can't.
Unless they thought that the Rams, did they think the Rams were the team they needed to jump?
I did hear people talking about Dart could be an option for McVay.
So, did they feel like they had to jump? Because in my opinion, at least the way I saw things going, it was like they were all going to be there. You could have waited a little bit longer. You didn't need to go this high.
No, I'm trying to see what the trade, guys. Do you have the trade compensation? Oh, there it is. Giants traded 34. Thank you, Heath 0280. So a 34, a 2025 third round pick, and a future 6th to the Rams for 26. No, to the Texans, right, for 25.
He says they're going Shedeur, and they're showing Shedeur on TV right now. Which is if they go Shedeur,
they're showing Shedeur because he's the top ranked quarterback on the board. I think
it'll only further solidify the fact that you can't believe anything you hear in the pre-draft process, because all I've heard
Jackson Dart. That's who it was. They went up and got Jackson Dart.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jackson Dart is going to the New York Giants.
So they must have felt like the Rams were going to go for him.
Maybe.
So now are the Rams going to go Shedeur?
Oh, that's interesting.
And we freaking take Milroe at 33, and I will be freaking done. I'll be done.
I would actually be. I mean, if these two guys are off the board,
Tyler Shuck would.
I just don't want Tyler Shuck.
I'd be worse with that than Milroe.
Yeah.
At least you're swinging on some kind of talent. You're going to swing and miss on a quarterback, and the quarterback's got talent like elite speed or arm or whatever it is. Swing on that.
They're trading up for a great locker room DT guy. It's just he. I feel like he's a lot like me right now. He'll say like really mean things, and then he's like, "Oh, I feel bad for the kid. It's okay." And then like 10 minutes later, he's right back on like making fun of him. It's like we're one and the same.
All right, so that's
interesting.
Off the board.
So now, if you're the Browns, because I want nothing to do with Jalen Milroe, you got now.
I don't know.
You got to hope the Rams don't take a quarterback here, and it's got to be Shedeur at 33. To me, Shedeur at 33, and then I'm taking a running back at 36.
Yeah, I like that. I just with Tommy Rees, I think there's a better connection with Milroe. To be honest with you, I know you don't want to hear that. But I think that's going to be something. That being said, I do believe that Shedeur Sanders can run the offense a lot like Cousins, So it's just it depends on how this offense is going to morph with Tommy Rees.
So we heard, from the beginning of the pre-draft process, it was Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Is Shedeur the number 1 guy? Is it Cam Ward? Well, then it was like, well, Shedeur's the number 2 guy, but he's locked into kind of Cleveland. If it's not Cleveland, it's New York. And here we are at pick 26, and 2 quarterbacks went off the board, and neither of them were Shedeur Sanders. Jackson Dart did end up getting drafted ahead of him.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, it really is interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean...
and we were kind of talking earlier when we got in here, and I watched a lot of tape on these quarterbacks because we had the number 2 pick and we need a freaking quarterback. And obviously I came away the most impressed with Cam Ward.
Yep.
Shedeur just didn't wow me in any way. Jackson Dart was kind of in between. Like there were some plays, some games where I thought, man, this kid looks pretty good. And some games where it's like, yeah, he's okay. But that was kind of my evaluation coming out of it.
I think Shedeur is a guy that's kind of like a, what do you call it? Like a low ceiling guy, like, you know what I mean?
Low ceiling, but high floor.
High floor, yeah. High floor guys.
Like he can play NFL quarterback, but can he do it at a high enough level for you to go where you want to go? Which was the question with Baker Mayfield when we had him. It was he's a good NFL quarterback, but can he? And they just didn't think so.
He had a rocket arm, and that's why he went number 1. Again, like he's a lot like Kirk Cousins. He's a guy that he's just got a little bit more athleticism than him. He should be, from what I've read, an elite processor of information, which is what they're looking for.
So now we got the Rams on the clock, and we'll see. This pick will probably come in while I'm talking, so whatever. But they could go Shedeur. They have other needs, so if they don't think that he's the heir apparent, and I don't even think they met with him, so that might not happen. But you do also have now the Browns and, Atlanta just traded up, so they're not taking a quarterback. So now Atlanta's on the clock. But anyway,
who are they trading up for?
They might be trading up for an edge rusher. I know they need edge rush help in a bad way
for like 2-3 years.
So they could be going Green.
They could be on Mike Green, maybe, or Ezeruku.
It's kind of wild that we're talking about the guy who led the nation in sacks at a premier position, and he hasn't gone yet.
But so now we got the Browns and still the Saints down at pick 40 tomorrow night. And I know both of them had interest in Jackson Dart. The word was that New Orleans loved him.
Yep.
And now New York went up and made sure they got him. So I just wonder if the Saints will make a move up to try to get Shedeur if they have interest.
I'm curious to know how much interest they had, because everything I saw said they were a Dart. They wanted Dart, and like the Shedeur thing was kind of being pushed by the media, but like they didn't have a ton of interest there. Mm-hmm. And how much of it is the talent, or did he just really rub people the wrong way in his interviews?
Shedeur?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you see all these reports coming out, and it's how much of this do I believe? How much of this is, unwarranted bias, slander, and everything? But when you got multiple scouts and people coming out saying, worst interview I've ever been in, and GMs are saying I don't know. It's interesting because he is fallen now big time.
A lot of time too is you have to take a look at the draft and what happens from the process when the season ends. These guys get done their bowl games, and where the draft kind of settles out with certain positions. This is where the draft class was originally. It was low, not low hanging fruit. It was basically just. Fool's gold, basically. Like, guys are like, I don't really want to invest it. I don't like the comments online were like, the quarterback class isn't that good this year. And it's starting to show itself, even Jackson Dart, like, this is pretty late. Like, he was the guy that kind of came up a little bit, but the number one prospect initially when we started this was Milroe, right? Maybe it's just, I'm quoting Pro Football Focus, but he was the number one. Then it was Cam Ward, and then it kind of switched up a little bit where Ward went up to 19, Milroe, and then Sanders was always been at 40, and he's never really moved. Like, they never moved him through their top 50 picks, and that's kind of where he's trending towards now, And I know people are a little iffy on PFF, but
which 40 is right where the Saints are sitting, actually.
Yeah. So it's. Sometimes you just oversell a little bit to what they are. And of course that's going to happen with the quarterback position because people really need one. So they want to pump it up, and maybe it's just not there.
Iron Eagle, you got the wrong team, buddy.
I
says Atlanta takes Sanders with the car injury. That would be the Saints. Atlanta's got Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins still.
I want to address that's another thing. The Browns could still be in on Cousins after the draft.
Them and the Steelers.
Greg says he's talking about Shedeur. He's Goff at best. Terrible footwork. Shedeur scrambles all the time to the left. Teams learned how to easily neutralize him. Terrible idea to draft him. Well, one, he doesn't have terrible footwork. I think he's the most pro-ready quarterback. I think everybody agrees on that. Like, he needs less time to sit. He might have not the athleticism or the arm strength as these other guys, but he's, in terms of mentally, he's the most pro-ready to come out and play the game. Also, I won't say that teams easily neutralized him. He completed 74% of his passes, threw for over 4,000 yards, had 37 touchdowns and only 10 interceptions. So I don't think he was easily neutralized. Also, in almost every game he played, his team was equal or worse in terms of talent around him. He had Travis Hunter. Tell me, in Horn Jr., tell me another player on Colorado's offense. And Horn might not even get drafted.
No, he's not. I don't think so.
You know what I mean? So tell me another player on Colorado's offense. This kid went out and played on, roster-wise, one of the worst rosters in Division I college football. And they won one game the year before he got there. He turns around. They win 4 games his first year there. They play competitive, beat the team that had just played in the national championship. Then they come out and they win and go to a bowl game in his second year. And it's like the guy turned around 2 bad programs. He threw for over 4,000 yards. He had an over 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. And he didn't do it with 5-star wide receivers all around him. He didn't do it with a good offensive line. He did it with 0 running game. 0. So I feel like we give quarterbacks who play in way better situations a ton of credit for throwing wide open crossing routes to 4 or 5-star receivers who are playing against teams that are, a bunch of 2-star players, because every team they play against, they're better at every single position. But there's a guy who went into an awful situation and he helped turn the program around and we give him zero credit for it. He gets no credit for making Colorado relevant. That's crazy to me.
Oh, he got his jersey retired.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets. I guess
He gets credit, but I'm talking about like
from Colorado
to the detractors. There's so many people that think he only gets talked about because of his dad. I think he only really gets talked about negatively because of his dad.
100%.
Yeah.
If his last name wasn't Sanders and he went out and threw for 4,000 yards and 37 touchdowns and only 10 picks, you guys would love him. If his last name was Smith or something, you don't like him because his dad is brash and arrogant and always has been, and he is brash and arrogant.
But you're talking like evaluators and just fans in general. But now we're talking about the NFL has passed him all the way down to 27 now. Did he really rub teams the wrong way, or do they just not like his dad too? I don't know what the case is or what the story is going to be.
They may not want to deal with it for a first round selection. They want to deal with it later.
It would be so cool to have public access to the interviews that these teams conduct with these players, just so we can see how they respond to questions and what questions they get asked, and that way we can make our own opinion. Because all we're getting is the hearsay. Yeah, we were told by this GM or this associate, whatever from this organization said, yeah, worst interview I've ever heard. Well, why? Was it the only interview you've ever heard? Like, because you have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah, I read too brash and too cocky. That's what I've found. But
they loved Baker Mayfield.
That's exactly it.
You know what I mean?
But I don't know. Was he?
Maybe
that's the thing. Like, I wish I could hear the interviews because maybe he was. I don't know. Or maybe he was just being confident.
So the Falcons trade up and they took James Pierce, edge rusher.
I can't believe they traded up to get a problem.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Now here's what scares me. Now the Ravens are sitting here. They haven't done anything. They're just sitting here. And Mike Green's still there.
Oh, yeah. Green or Malachi Starks for their backfield, defensive backfield.
They don't really need a safety. They got Kyle Hamilton. And I don't know if they really need an edge rusher, but
why not?
You have the second ranked edge rusher on the board.
They're just going to sit there. They do it every year. Just take the value.
Just take this guy. I won't even be a little bit shocked. Now I think their offensive line's not great.
I was going to say offensive
and they
tackle.
could go offensive.
True, they could go. What? Josh Simmons is still on the board. Connolly,
no, he got picked.
Connolly Jr.
No,
Josh Simmons is there.
Yeah, he's. So, but wouldn't it would drive me nuts if they just sit there, hit pick 27, and the number 2 edge rusher is the guy who led the nation in sacks, just falls into their lap at pick 27. And then the Browns, with all their offensive talent they've acquired in this offseason, have to go against him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So that would upset me. Gage in the comments said that the Browns needed to trade up. Gage, I'd be curious to know why.
Oh, he wants Shedeur. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think you got to trade up to get him.
I mean, unless you think that New Orleans is going to try to trade up. They're the only other team right now that the Steelers can't trade up. They don't have a pick in the second round. They don't have capital to come get him. Who else would trade up in front of us?
I don't think anybody.
Nobody. Not that I can think of.
This episode is sponsored by Manly Bands. Guys, is your wedding band old, outdated, or just not the same taste you had when you were younger? Or hey, maybe you're about to get married, but you don't want to deal with the salespeople at the jewelry stores. Manly Bands has the best wedding bands made specifically for men. They have the classic timeless gold and white gold styles, but they also have rings made from platinum, black zirconium, tungsten, titanium, even materials like meteorite and dinosaur bone. Yes, your wedding ring could be made from a dinosaur fossil. That is a real thing. They also have different ring collections like their Jack Daniels rings made from actual Jack Daniels whiskey barrels. They also have Lord of the Rings and DC Comics band collections. Head over to manlybands.com/dogs and take advantage of their 30% off sale with free shipping. Plus, use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out for another 10% off your order. Now, every Manly Band comes with a free silicone ring, and if you don't know your ring size, that's okay. You can order a free ring size chart from Manly Bands to make sure that you know exactly the right size before you order. And then, if you get your ring and it doesn't fit just right, you can always return it or exchange it without any hassle. And I know this because I like my rings to be a little more loose, and the first band that I got was just a little too snug for the way I like to wear it, so I exchanged it, and the whole process was quick, easy, and I had my new ring in no time. And now, Manly Bands is even accessorizing men beyond just your wedding rings with their chain necklaces and chain bracelets made for men by men. And if you need groomsmen gifts or anything else, Manly Bands has you covered with their barware, whiskey glasses, flasks. They even have customized coasters and flight trays. So skip the jewelry stores, avoid the salespeople, and get a wedding band that was designed for you. manlybands.com/dogs to get 30% off, free shipping, plus get an extra 10% off when you use code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out.
So I think they can pretty much. They're not going to trade up for. They're not going to trade up for Shedeur because they're going to take Milroe just to piss me off.
Yeah, that's where it's going to go, man.
You know what I mean? So they're not trading up.
Oh, I think it's funny that we're so opposite ends of the spectrum on Milroe. Like, I'd be actually happy if we got him, and you want nothing to do with it.
I'm trying to figure this out, but I'm pretty sure I heard last year in conference play he had more interceptions than touchdowns.
I'd have to look it up.
In the SEC.
I don't think. I don't think so.
I
Take a look.
I don't know.
I was trying to look it up. I even asked ChatGPT, and it was like, this is a stupid question. But there's just we watched him play a whole season of football, and after his last game at Alabama, we were like, this guy is not a good quarterback. And then we watched him at the Pro Bowl or the Senior Bowl, and we were like, this guy's a really bad quarterback. And then the further we get away from watching him play football, he's magically becoming better at football games.
So 2024, he passed for 28, 44, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
16 and 11. And how many? So there's a chance he threw more picks in conference play than he did touchdowns. If he was that close, 16 and 11.
Yeah, I can't find just conference only.
I guess I'd have to.
Well, like we were talking earlier, I mean,
unless I tally it up.
Just box score surfing isn't always the answer because
but we watched him play.
I know. I also watched the Georgia game from last year, and he was the best quarterback. Like that, if he plays like that, he's a first round pick.
He played way more games.
There it is, Malachi Starks.
He played way more games not like that than he did like that. 16 and 11. 16 and 11.
Yeah.
You know what it is though is if a coach sees something once on a player and they think they can coach it all the time, coach it up to that specific game, they'll take him. I'm not.
Now they got Kyle Hamilton. Sorry, they got Kyle Hamilton and
Malachi Starks. It was either him or Nick Emenworry were the top two safeties in this class.
Oh, that guy's a thumper.
Malachi Starks is going to be nasty. We got to face him every year.
And now and again, just super pumped that we don't have a starting offense. And the Steelers' defense is always great. Bengals added another edge rusher. Ravens just added the number one safety in the draft to go with Kyle Hamilton, who's already a great safety. It's just like
you got Tommy Rees. He's gonna make a great offense for you.
That's the thing. Like we hired this new promote this new offensive coordinator. It's his first time. This up and comer. We give him jack shit to work with. Like
I don't get it.
I feel bad for the guy.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Unless Jimmy must have walked in and said, Kevin, you're safe. AB, you're safe. Tommy, you're safe. I mean,
my bad for the Watson thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
My bad. You guys just go ahead and build the team for the next year or two, and then I'll make the comment. Oh, well, if we don't find our guy for another couple years, whatever. It's
just make sure you start at defensive tackle.
Thanks, Jimmy.
let me. I'm gonna just read you guys some things real quick. Jalen Milroe against Auburn, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. Jalen Milroe against Oklahoma, a bad Oklahoma team. 11 of 26 for 0 touchdowns and 3 picks. He did manage to throw for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns against Mercer.
Sweet.
Against LSU, 109 yards, 0 picks, 0 touchdowns. Against Missouri, 250 clips 200, 0-0 again. Against Tennessee, 1-2. Against South Carolina, 1-2. Against Vanderbilt, he managed to muster 1-1, and they lost to Vanderbilt. 2-1 against Georgia, and that was his great game. 2-1.
Do me a favor. Go look at his rushing numbers for every game because Alabama used him.
If we want to use if we want to use him as a running back, we can draft him in the third round as a running back.
No one says the Browns are going to use him the same way that the new coaching staff in Alabama used him.
No,
go back and look how Tommy Reese.
We just spent a time trying to make everybody fit to a quarterback that didn't fit what we want to do.
That quarterback didn't want to do what we wanted to do.
This quarterback doesn't do what we want to do.
Has he said that? Do you know that?
He doesn't have the ability to do it.
Okay.
He doesn't.
Okay, I don't want to fight about fucking Jalen Milroe at 12 o'clock at night.
But he doesn't.
We're not even picking him yet.
He doesn't.
Oh, my God. Pick some other fucking topic, Blake.
Nope. We have 4 hours. You can't tell me other than he can run around real fast and had one good game why he should be picked.
It's the Tommy Reese connection, man. That's the only thing I can tell you. That's the only thing I can tell you.
Tommy Reese isn't even going to call plays or anything. It's going to be Kevin Stefanski's offense. And we just tried to stick a square peg in a round hole in a Kevin Stefanski offense, and we couldn't do it. And all the players complained about how we tried to mold the team to one guy instead of doing it to the team's strengths. And we want to go build on a guy who doesn't do anything that our head coach does well. Play action, it's 12 and 13 personnel,
it could be
rolling
Shedeur.
out under center. We just did that experiment.
It could be Shedeur too. It's not guaranteed. And who knows? It might just be weapons. They might not like anybody this year.
It's just
they might trade down for Curtis Rourke. Like who knows, man? Or
I think
trade down.
either 33 or 36 is going to be an OT.
Dude, I heard you and I believe you.
I saw so many reports the other day talking about how the Browns are locked. They didn't say who. They just said they're locked into an OT at 33. I forget who. I think Mary Kay might have had one of those posts. I can't remember who it was.
I don't disagree. I just don't want to see it. I just want some weapons, man. I just want to go on and on about weapons. That's all I want.
The problem other than like running back, and there's a couple wide receivers, but like all like the favorites are gone. Outside of like Henderson and Judkins.
Yeah, I mean my favorite wide receivers outside of like Ibuka and Travis Hunter are still there, but they're not guys I'm taking in the first. I would maybe 36.
Like who?
Trey Harris and the Iowa State guys.
Trey Harris, I'd have to do a bit more. Is he a good blocker? Like, is he a guy that fits? Like my understanding with Tommy Reese is he wants more slants, more goes, like smaller stuff to like beat these too high safety bubble zones just to methodically get down the field, right? Is that something that he fits, or is it more like the other guys, like bashing these guys, or like?
I mean, I'd have to look a little more into like those precise things. I know I've saw plenty of plays where he caught a quick slant and can just beat a defense pretty good. So
yeah, and that's
where I think Jalen Knoll, as the slot receiver, could be really good too. And I've seen people say Jaden Higgins could end up being a true number one receiver on a team. So those are guys that I'm interested in.
Well, like with any of these guys, it's all about the position coach. And I mean, we're not feeling too good with the guy that they've had for the last couple of years because we haven't been able to develop any receivers, right? So,
no.
I mean, is it because we're drafting them too low, like Blake says? Is it like, we're just too afraid to draft weapons high, and it just the coaches just can't get enough out of them, or they're just bad picks, And the only thing that we haven't changed on this staff is our wide receivers coach. Is that the problem? So
Shedeur at 33 and Luther Burden at 36.
Wait.
That's what Truth is saying.
Wait, is this a real person?
Where
the Lions pick? Did PFF? What just happened here?
I've
never heard of this guy.
Let me see.
That can't be right.
That can't be there.
That's a typo.
They have two great running backs.
All right, come on.
Is it Phil Maffa?
It says Tyleek Raynor, halfback or running back out of Temple.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who that is either. That's why I'm like,
I'm rubbing my temples trying to think about who he could be.
Okay, it was Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle out of Ohio State.
Okay.
I'm like,
Well, I was
running
like,
back out of Temple in the first round.
When you got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery.
Good job, PFF. Okay.
It's late for them too.
Tyleek Williams out of Ohio State. So there's another defensive interior. So, I mean, if Andrew Berry thought there was going to be a run on those guys, he at least jumped out there and got the one he wanted.
So it has the I'll tell you that this could be a scary spot for Henderson to go, is the Commanders.
Yeah, I've heard that one too.
yep.
To put him next to
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
What was their biggest problem at last year?
It says
Was
that their biggest needs are running back, guard, center, edge, and cornerback. I was going to say I could see them going green also. But if they want, I mean, that would be because their running backs, what? Brian
Robinson.
Yeah.
And they had Austin Eckler, who's old.
Yes. They could use like a Jahmyr Gibbs in space kind of guy to go with. That would be scary. It would be fun to watch. Like I want Henderson to be on the Browns.
Have Terry McLaurin, so they'd have some Buckeyes for there.
Like I want Henderson to be on the Browns, but I am also a fan of like when people go to cool places and it could be fun to watch.
Well, because then you can actually root for the Commanders when playoffs start. Like, hey, that's my team because they got Terry McLaurin and Travion Henderson.
Last
year it was the Lions, and I feel like I cursed them. Like I was like, oh, the Lions in the playoffs, Browns are. I'm going to be pulling for the Lions, and then they lost. I brought the Cleveland curse up to them. We haven't talked about it in a little while. A reminder as we're getting closer to the end of this draft, if you want to be entered for a chance to win a Cleveland Browns jersey, you could be our first round draft pick from tonight, Mason Graham, or any player on the Browns of your choosing. Head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. If you have to do that before the end of this live, and we'll know. If you try to do it after, we'll know. You have to do it before the end of this live, become a Dog Pack member, and you will be entered for a chance to win that jersey. And if you're already a Dog Pack member, thank you, and we will hopefully you guys will win. Also, become a YouTube member. Just sign up for YouTube. Become a member. It's 99 cents a month. That helps us out a lot. Make sure you are liked and following here on all the social media platforms. Just search at the Dogs Podcast. You don't want to miss any of the content we're putting out. Again, we'll take this moment also. We're up to 1.3K listeners on X. This is by far our biggest live audience, and we're just in it keeps getting bigger as the night goes on, as our energy's going over. You guys should have been here like 2 or 3 hours ago. We were really in peak form.
Yeah.
But we're going on, you know what? We're at 4 hours, approaching 4 hours of being live on YouTube.
We lost a host.
We lost a host. Yeah. We're dropping like flies out here. But anybody who's watching, if you're new to the show, we really appreciate you guys checking us out. Again, make sure you like and follow on all the platforms so you don't miss any of the content we're putting out. Now that the draft will be over at the end of the weekend, we'll have players to talk about, undrafted free agents to get into. We'll be getting closer to rookie mini camp, and so things are really starting to. We're getting into the thick of things. So make sure you guys are following us on everything. Somebody says Journey concert letting out. Was it going on this whole time? Have they just been playing for like 4 hours?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
If you're at the Journey concert and you are just now going home, be careful. I know you'll be distracted watching us while you're driving. Don't do that. You can just listen on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Well, maybe not now. I doubt
not right now.
Over there. You can listen to this tomorrow on Apple, Spotify, and Google. I saw a comment here that I almost brought up. It says Mike Green at 33 or bust. Again, I don't want defensive players, but if you tell me that the number 2 edge rusher is sitting there, it's like –
it's value. Like they have him rated 10th overall.
I don't want it.
Man,
I'm still going to stick with the fact that we're going to go poach Trey Hendrickson, so we can draft offense here because we're gonna go poach Trey Hendrickson.
I totally agree. I need some weapons. Like get Luther Burden, get anything. Like I need what's left here.
I guess if they did go like edge rusher with Mike Green or something like that, it would tell you immediately this season is out as far as trying to be competitive with scoring points with other teams. It's all going to be about building a young defense like the Eagles, develop that defense into one of the best in the league and hope to God you're able to get a quarterback with one of your 2 picks next year.
Dude, I'm in denial. Like, don't say that. I don't want to hear
I know.
that.
I know, man.
Like, I've just been sitting here just like I can't grasp like where we're going just with this one pick in the top 5. Like, I was so elated, we see this like dropping 5, and in my head I'm like, we're gonna get Genty because we're gonna get this offense going. Because who wants to watch 15 points a game? Apparently the Browns.
Jimmy must like that.
Did Henderson get picked? It says pick is in, but I'm not seeing it on PFF yet. Usually they're
Yeah, I don't have it yet either.
Henderson's going to get injured going to the podium. Hey, he stayed healthy all year last year. His injury concern was that like going into the season was kind of why I was like, man, I would like this guy to be a Brown one day, but watching him split carries this year and he looked fresh for the whole year and he managed to stay healthy the entire season. He's just so explosive.
With the Commanders would be okay because Brian Robinson can split those carries with him.
Yes, they can be a good 1-2 punch. He would be scary in that offense.
Don't they have
Yes, he
Eckler?
would.
Don't they have Eckler as well?
Yeah, but I don't know. He might actually. Oh, they took Josh Connerly Jr.
Yes.
Okay,
Good. So now the Browns won't be tempted to take him.
Hey, Josh Simmons still on the board.
Yeah.
Any chance Browns swap picks with the Eagles just for the 5th-year option and get Sanders, or does that not make sense? If they're going to go quarterback, it makes sense, and they have the relationship with the Eagles where I think we could do something like that, and like we wouldn't get trade graped.
So my whole thing, and you tell me if you think differently, but I feel like the 5th-year option on quarterbacks is not a big deal because after year 3, if they're good, you're extending them, and if they're not, you're trading them.
Then you don't want them. Yeah.
So the 5th-year option, because you're not going to pick up a 5th-year option on a quarterback like with Baker Mayfield. They're like, we're not going to pick up the 5th-year option because it's like $40 million. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I feel like 5th-year option is less impactful for a quarterback, which I know people would probably think it's really important, but I just don't think it is.
That's true because, like you said, you're either if you have questions, you're not picking up their option,
right?
Unless you're the Giants and Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Well, they didn't pick up his option, did they? Didn't they just give him a 2-year extension or something?
Nah, yeah, they
paid him. They actually
paid him
extended
after his one good year.
But again, like
because it was that or give him
either extend him or you trade him.
Yeah.
So no, I agree. But it's a good thought, and like I wouldn't rule it out. It's true, man. I'm a big Buckeye fan. I'm originally from Bellefontaine, guys. You were right. Before the season, I hated his injury, but I hope he turned around. He was nasty this year. I just think, and obviously I don't know enough about Travion Henderson's high school career. Was he banged up a lot in high school? I know he just had a lot of bad luck with the injuries early in his Ohio State career, but to see him not only be healthy all year last year, but we played a lot of games last year. It was basically an NFL, regular season last year, and he managed to stay healthy. I think having Judkins in there to kind of take some of the bumps and bruises.
That was huge.
And you can honestly, his injury, as long as he can stay healthy now, it helps him in terms of lengthening his career because he didn't take nearly as many hits as some of these guys because he missed games in college. So and it clearly didn't do anything to affect. It didn't affect his explosiveness or anything. He's arguably the most explosive running back in the draft. When he's in space.
Oh, I think so. Without a doubt.
His top end speed and everything is crazy. Genty's obviously the complete back, but Henderson to me is in space. He's the best one.
There was times he just looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
That play against Texas,
the screen.
Yeah, right before halftime.
It's just first of all, it was set up beautifully, but then there's nobody catching him, and
you still have to be able to do it.
And he's in one cut and boom. Gone. No chance.
That's exactly what we're looking for our offense for sure.
It's the only person who can do anything close to that in the open field for the Browns right now is Jerome Ford. And like we've said before 4 hours ago, you better block it up perfect. It better be exactly how you drew it up because he's not making anybody miss.
He's not finding a lane on his own.
No, I feel like he doesn't break arm tackles.
No. He's very weak.
He doesn't he's not shifty. Mm-mm. He's just once he gets to the open field, he can be gone. You're not going to catch him.
Sounds like Pierre Strong.
It's a lot of work to get him to the open field.
Yeah, it's a pain.
You know what I mean? Guys like Chubb, Saquon, they might take a bump in the hole, bounce off, and then they're gone. Or they might make a guy miss in the hole or stiff arm somebody, and then they're gone.
That's what I liked about Caleb Johnson. His yards after contact per attempt was 4.4 or something. Was the second highest behind Genty in the nation last year, which means after he's getting hit the first time, he's still getting on average 4 more yards, which is insane.
Wasn't Scadaboo
that's what I'm looking
too?
for.
Scadaboo up there too?
Scadaboo was up there too. Yeah.
Scadaboo is a guy that I'm just not taking him to be our main back.
No, he's got to be part of the committee.
Yes, it's just, and maybe I'll be wrong on him, maybe, but it gives Peyton Hillis vibes.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm taking him like day 3, man. Like I like Scattaboo, but I'd take him day 3.
like heart and grit's only going to get you so far, and I don't want me to put him down, and maybe he'll be great in the NFL, but all these dudes are super big and fast and strong, and they all, lift every day.
Doesn't
They all,
matter.
You know what I mean? This is their jobs now, so like they're all like, you're not. It's and again, I could be wrong, and I like the kid, but I said it. I was just kind of joking. I wasn't. I'm not drafting anybody on this team that runs like over a 4.45 or something crazy. I'm obviously being slightly sarcastic, but we lack so much top end speed. We lack when was the last time the Browns had a guy outside of, it was Nick Chubb that you just said, let's just get the ball to this guy and
He's gonna go to the house.
and he's going to take it. Or he's, this guy's a difference maker. He's scary. We just get the ball to this guy. We got to get the ball to this guy 10 times because he's going to make something happen. Maybe Odell for like a game.
Well, we don't
Against Dallas?
don't draft skill players, so it's been a long time. We don't have anybody like that.
We never do. We never have like some of the best guys. It was
man,
Nick Chubb.
I'm getting depressed again here, buddy. I'm getting depressed again.
It was Nick Chubb. That's all we've ever had.
So let's talk about the position. I don't even think we've mentioned yet tonight, except for a couple other teams taking it. Who do you guys want the Browns to take a tight end? Because they have to take a tight end in this draft. Have to.
So I really like. I've been big on Fannin.
Okay, that's where I'm at too.
For like a long time.
Do you think the Browns will take him? Considering analytically, I don't think they would. The analytics would say take him because of his size and like athletic. His athletic testing and stuff like that isn't off the charts for his size. But I think the dude can just play football.
So So the top 4 that are left are Elijah Arroyo, Mason Taylor, Terrence Ferguson, and Harold Fannin. I like all of them.
I'm going.
Yeah.
If the Browns came away with any 4 of those, I would be happy.
Yeah,
I think they're all good. I feel like the pick at 5 is such a wasted pick. It sets us back now. Now we're picking a round later for all these guys, and they're just gonna get taken in front of us now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you had a chance to add an explosive playmaker at either the wide receiver position at 2 or the running back position at 5. Instead, you got a guy who's going to play with his hands on the ground.
4 hands.
He's going to be in a 4-point stance.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I'm just shocked.
Yeah, and the thing is, I didn't do a whole lot of intel and research and stuff into Mason Graham because I was not anticipating the Browns actually drafting a defensive tackle in the top 5. I knew for sure they were going to take one. Like every mock draft that I did, I always had them taking a D tackle, but I just didn't think it would be there. So I'll have to go back and hit the books on Mason Graham for you guys.
I had a guy near the end from Nebraska.
Fannin can't block. Well, that's why we have Njoku.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I know Fannon's not a big, and it's his size. Like he's not going to play a lot in line, but we also don't have a slot receiver. He can pop out and play your big slot role. I mean, the dude is a ferocious football player. You get the ball to him. What did they say? Oh, I did in that one episode. They call him
H-back.
Nah, his hand. Something about his hands. It's vacuum hands. That was his nickname or something.
Catches
At
everything.
Bowling Green, catches everything.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills go Mike Green here.
No, I wouldn't either.
That's a need for them
because
PFF is like lacking here. I don't
know
have anything. Let's see.
Truth says the Eagles traded up.
They did. They swapped places then with the
Maxwell
Hairston. Okay. So another cornerback off the board.
Where were the Eagles?
They were at 32.
So they just swapped with the Chiefs?
Yeah. Interesting.
I wonder who they got their eye on.
It's got to be Mike Green. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
The Eagles defense they're going to win the Super Bowl again.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I'm almost rooting for it at this point. Just because I just like watching
good football.
Like that is if do you feel like they thought they needed to move up in front of the Chiefs for that?
If that is who they pick, they must have felt
the Chiefs sold them on someone that
or they felt like somebody else was going to move up with the Chiefs to get him.
Yeah,
true.
That's what
So they said we'll do it instead. I don't know. This episode is brought to you by Bodden Sports. Browns fans, Baden Sports is your one-stop shop for all your athletic gear. Baden started out perfecting and manufacturing the best balls in the business. Yeah, if that sounded dirty, that's more about your mind than my words. But hey, it's true. Baseballs, softballs, footballs, basketballs, volleyballs, soccer balls, you name it, and Baden has engineered the highest standard sports balls available. And now they offer more than just sports balls. If you got kids playing baseball or softball, Baden has batting gloves and bats to go along with both game balls and training balls. If you're into basketball, Baden makes basketball specifically for indoor or outdoor use. Heck, Baden even has all the equipment you need for pickleball, which is one sport that I hear everyone is playing, and yet I still never have. And I need to fix that soon. But don't miss the backyard game section of Baden's website, where you can order everything you need for this upcoming outdoor season. Pool balls, backyard volleyball nets, croquet, bocce, horseshoes, cornhole, and more. Right now, you can get 10% off your entire order at Baden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS when you check out. That's 10% off all the top quality sporting gear you need this season. BadenSports.com/dogs. Well, this night I said it was either going to be really boring in terms of teams moving around and the Browns doing stuff, or it was going to be really wild. It was really boring. Like, pretty much everybody stayed put. There were a couple trades here late. Browns were the only ones in the top 20 that traded.
Somebody's saying they're going to take Will Johnson.
I was freaking pumped when we traded down. We got picks. We thought Genty was coming. I was like, man, I think I nailed this. I was
the
like,
roller coaster.
And then all of a sudden,
I think that's what really killed. It was the hope.
Yeah.
The hope is what kills you.
Well, we all came in here talking about, all right, so if they don't re-sign Nick Chubb, I'm going to get a new Travis Hunter jersey for the wall and all this stuff. And
we advertised giving away a Travis Hunter jersey.
Sure did. We sure did.
Journey was asking
if
we were excited for us to draft Travis Hunter. That I got to try to find video. Somebody's got to have video on the internet of that.
I'm going to be looking forward to, because I want to share that around. That's hilarious.
You got to kick off the next episode with that.
Yeah. Are you guys ready for Travis Hunter?
Yeah, and then it could be like this.
I want to hear the crowd's reaction to that, and then the crowd's reaction when the pick was announced.
Oh man. Ashton Genty's coming. No, it's Mason Graham. What?
This feels worse than Justin Gilbert. I'm dead serious.
Justin Gilbert was a gut punch for sure.
That's a bad draft.
One thing about the draft that year, we got Johnny Manziel. I was depressed getting him. I know people were pumped.
That was the first Browns jersey I ever bought.
I got excited just because we needed a quarterback.
My cousins live in Texas. They call me. And they're like, you're not going to be like, they talked me into it. Sent me a Texas A&M jersey, everything.
Oh, geez.
And I was like, okay, like I was on it. And then that game against Buffalo, off. I'm like, I'm done with this guy.
It says the hardest part of this is that we got to sit here for nearly 4 hours after we didn't get the offensive pick that we anticipated. And it appears we're not trading back up into the first.
And you got to remember that we got to wait all day tomorrow just for the draft to kick off for the Browns to either trade back again or probably take a tackle or something we're all sitting here going Travion Henderson, or whatever. Get one of these guys. And Mike Green. I don't know what we're going to do, guys, but
just
turns out I'm going to be doing a lot more research into the players we picked than I thought, because I thought for sure we were going to pick some of the guys I liked.
What time's the draft start tomorrow?
I think it's 7 tomorrow.
7.
Yeah.
Then 12 on Saturday.
It's just they went with Campbell.
Oh, Jahad Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. That fits them like to a T. I saw him mock to the Eagles a lot.
Mike Green not going in the first unless the Chiefs take him, which that'd be a good combination with like Chris Jones.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with Mike Green? Why is he?
Do you have injury concerns or something?
He had a sexual assault allegation or something a few years ago or a year ago or something. So I think that might have taken him off some people's boards, which I can just hear Browns fans, once that information starts to become widely known, if Andrew Berry takes Mike Green. I can hear it. I can just hear it. E-Unit wants to know, did Graham come to Berea? Was he a visit Mason
with us?
Graham? Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Okay. He was a top 30. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, he was.
One that I passed right by when we did our top 6 of the 30, because I was like, no way this guy's coming.
Is it going to be, are they going to take Simmons, or are they going to go with are they going to like do the flashy thing and go Travion Henderson?
Travion.
Either way, I think it's probably an Ohio State guy. You're probably right. But they probably go Simmons. I think that offensive line, they need help. I mean, they got destroyed by
The Eagles.
Which they're just getting better now.
Oh, where's Travion in this? Oh, he's...
Talk about, remember we kept saying this draft's either going to be awesome or it's going to be super boring. And
hey, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us this entire time. Because it has been almost 4 hours of us just sitting here hoping the Browns do something. It's like that meme, right, with the stick. Like, come on, do something.
It has been 4 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We started at 7:30. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Makes me feel good to know that we can do this. We have stamina.
It's but you know what? It went
I'm ready
faster
for 4
than I
more
thought.
hours.
It does go fast.
Yeah, it went faster than I thought, that's for sure.
Man, chat, you guys are definitely keeping us going. Yeah, Heath, Green, off-field issues. Am I right? Was it sexual assault allegations? Is that what it was? I'll have to wait till he hears this.
I've been waiting for this day
Johnny
since
football,
week 10
baby.
of the season.
I know.
That's why
Remember I started putting like the draft prospects and stuff in the bottom ticker and things like that? We traded.
We still had 8 weeks to go in the season. We were putting draft prospects in our episodes.
I'm like, who's the quarterback going to be? Yeah, no. Yeah. Mason Graham, defensive tackle, out of. It just sucks that it's Michigan too, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
yes. Like if you come to Cleveland and you play well, I'll root for you. I was a big DPJ fan when he was here. But man, you better hope you play well. Because if not, it's not. You're gonna every other word I'm out. Michigan, bitch, Michigan.
Oh,
Braylon Edwards, everything
when he
turned
used
in
to
with
drop, when he used to drop balls. Oh my God.
Josh Durst, are we live tomorrow? No, that is not the plan.
No, it's the quickest way for me to get divorced.
Yeah, I had tossed around the idea of potentially doing something, me and maybe just like one other person online, but it's just not going to work out. It's tough with the schedules. Blake's got, how old is your daughter? She's 3? 3. And I've got a 4-year-old and a 3-month-old. So it's just.
If you want to come
tough.
to Masthead Brewing, Brad Moneymaker and I'll be there watching the draft.
Yeah, go hang out with Kenny.
You go hang out with me, man.
Matt Hughes says Shedeur at 33, Henderson at 36. This is a great draft. If that happens, I will be a lot happier the next time you guys see me. If it's other people, defensive players again, I'm going to be insufferable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
All right, Casey, let's get off the clock here. Let's put this pick in so we can wrap this up and go home. Obviously, Kansas City is last team on the clock, so you got less than 10 minutes to go join the dog pack if you want a chance to win the Browns jersey. JoinTheDogs.com, become the official dog pack member. Get a chance to win a Browns jersey. It'll be fitted to you. We'll get your information, the player you want, your size, and we'll get it sent to you. It's not like we have an extra large sitting in the back and you're medium and you're like, oh, I don't want that jersey. I'll never win. It'll be just for you. It'll fit, all that good stuff. So jointhedogs.com. Come hang out with all of us. A lot of the fine people in this chat are dog pack members. We have a good time in there. So come hang out with us.
Yeah, it's a good time. It is a good community of people.
Yeah, we have a blast. Even when we talk politics and all disagree, it's pretty good.
We got to do a cool meetup last year, or this past season, right before the Chargers game. We went up to the Berea Browns backers, had a big get-together. We did a podcast from up there. We went live. And
interviewed a Baldwin Wallace football player.
Yeah.
We hung out, and then we went to Justin's big tailgate the next morning, and everybody got a little bit lubricated.
I was feeling good. I was holding my 2-4, giving people some Pound Town lagers from my Ottawa Browns backers group.
We bailed. Let's see. I bailed with my buddy right after the end of the third quarter because we were getting smoked by the Chargers, and it was terrible.
That was
Jameis
not
Winston
fun.
had like 12 sacks in that game. It was ugly.
And this is exactly why we want offensive weapons, because remember how many sacks Miles had that game? 3.5. And we lost by 20 points.
Yep. That's a great point, Kenny.
Yeah.
Way to drive it home here at the end.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What's you wore the perfect shirt for tonight.
Yes, he did, actually. Your shirt is legit.
I don't know if you can see it.
So I gotta create one of those and get it on our podcast merch store.
That's awesome.
You can do my crying face.
Oh, for the audio listeners tomorrow, it says Browns fan. It's got 5 stars. 1 is filled in. And it says constant heartbreak and disappointment. Would not recommend.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. All right, so Casey's pick is in, but it's not showing up here yet, but it should be soon.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, who was it? Somebody was asking, does it matter? Where's the chat going to be tomorrow? It's going to be
in the Discord.
So if you want to get in there, jointhedogs.com. That will be popping tomorrow night for sure.
Thanks for the chat, guys. We appreciate everybody who is, again, thank you guys. Anybody who did a super chat tonight, anybody who joined the dog pack, just being here, hanging out. Like I said, we said this is the most concurrent live viewers we've ever had, like by far,
a large,
like not even close. And so we really appreciate. This was our 5th one. We're halfway to a decade of covering the draft for you guys live. And we love hanging out with you guys doing this. This is like even my wife was like, I know this is a big night for you. And I was like, it is.
Oh, dude, I'm
so excited. And then I'm going to go home, just crawl into bed and sob. And she's like, what's the matter?
That did not go the way I was hoping.
I don't want to talk about it. Be quiet. Will Johnson's still available. We're going to end up with 2 players. If we take a defensive player at 33, God.
The rebuild is on. That is full on tank.
I'm already gonna go home and be falling asleep and having nightmares of Travis Hunter catching touchdown passes and Genty winning offensive rookie of the year and us going 2-16 or 15.
And everybody thinking we're getting Arch Manning and he stays in for another year. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
We end up with Carson Beck.
Yeah. Or the Penn State, Drew Allard.
And everybody will love Drew Allard since he grew up a Browns fan.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Maybe. So, like, Drew Allard has good size, good build and everything. Maybe he'll be good at Penn State this year and I'll feel different. Yeah. But the people who wanted him to come out this year, I was like, all right, have we watched him play, guys? Have we watched him?
Yeah. And the pick is
in.
Josh Simmons, offensive tackle from Ohio State.
That
rounds it out.
How many Buckeyes is that now? 6?
Quite a few. We have the defensive tackle, 2, the 2 linemen, the receiver.
3. And I'm going through. 4. Is Ibuka the first one?
Maybe. No, didn't Donovan? No, he went later. Yeah.
So it was 4.
4, yep.
Yeah.
4 in the first round.
Don't worry, there'll be more tomorrow.
Yeah.
Probably not to us.
That officially puts the Browns on the clock at 33.
Shedeur Sanders
is still
available. We could go through who's still on the board. Yeah.
Yeah, real quick while we wrap it up. So let's go by position real quick. We'll do a couple of the most needed positions for the Browns. Shedeur, Jalen Milroe, Will Howard, Riley Leonard, and Tyler Shuck are still available. If you go to wide receiver, Luther Burden, Elick Iomore. Am I saying it right?
I think it's like Ioman or Iomont. I forget.
I don't read good. Jaden Higgins, Jack Beck, Jalen Royals, Kyle Williams, Trey Harris, Xavier Restrepo, and Jalen Noel.
Might as well cut those right off the list. We're not picking those guys. So.
Tight end, Elijah Arroyo, Mason Taylor, Terrence Ferguson, Harold Fannin. Those are the top 4 guys. We already talked about them a little bit. I'd be happy if we can end up with any of those guys.
Me too.
I would be pumped with any of those. And then if we're gonna look at running back, which we'll focus here on this says Cam. There's no way Cam is the number 1. PFF's high and drunk, but Cam Scatterbo, Dylan Sampson, Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins.
Yes.
In my opinion, they just have these listed backwards.
Yeah. Same.
100%.
Honestly, I'm at the point I'm so disappointed with the way the first round went, and I just love both running. Take Henderson at 33 and Judkins at 36.
Keep them together, baby.
Keep them together.
Yeah.
We'll lose every fucking game this year, but at least we'll have 2 players I really, really like.
Yeah.
So,
I'm down.
But I'm in my brain, I'm thinking it's going to be quarterback at 33. I don't think you can risk waiting until 36 if there's a guy that you want.
Right. So I will say I'm the way the first round ended, though, is good for the weapons because you got Connerly off the board, Josh Simmons is off the board. Obviously, those are two offensive tackles I would like to have in Cleveland, just not over the weapons. So now you're looking at Ariante Ursary out of Minnesota and Ozzie Trapilo are like the top two tackles left. But I think Trapilo you can get in the third, maybe with 67. So maybe that takes, Tate Ratledge is still on the board, the guard from Georgia, but I just don't see them taking a guard here. I think we're kind of out of the offensive lineman box here, hopefully to start tomorrow. If we're looking to, you still have the number 2 and number 3 edge rushers available.
Crazy. You still have the number 3 corner. You still have the number 2 ranked wide receiver. You still have the number 4 ranked corner, all available.
Yeah.
Like there are good.
Will Johnson didn't go in the first round.
That blew my mind.
Unreal.
I noticed that. That blew my mind.
Huh. So there are some good players that can make me feel a lot better about where we stand as a team at the end of tomorrow as opposed to where we stand right now. I know it's another defensive position, but safety, only one went. So you still got Kevin Winston Jr. from Penn State, Andrew Makuba from Texas. Nick Emenworry did not go in the first round, which he was mocked most of the time in the first round from South Carolina.
I'm surprised with his
and
size.
Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. So, tomorrow you could see the Browns make 3 picks in the second round if they trade up from 67.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they will, but
I'm done guessing with the Browns.
I know.
Yeah, who knows, man?
I know.
I wouldn't have a house if somebody would have taken my bet about if we were going to pick an offensive or defensive player. Because there's just no way I thought we were taking a defensive lineman or any defensive player, especially one not named Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
I got no I must have made a very compelling argument on our video like 2 months ago. Andrew Barry's like, that motherfucker's spitting.
I did post so. In five drafts, Andrew Barry had drafted 6 defensive tackles and only 3 defensive ends. Like it's not. The edge rusher's not the priority, especially since we have Miles. I think they've got one good one, and they're focused. He's so focused on the interior of that D line.
And I think too, like Alex Wright, kind of seems like he's poised to kind of have like a breakout.
Isaiah McGuire too. I like those guys.
Yes,
I don't know why you would put extra resources based on all the guys that we have at defensive end.
We signed a shit ton already.
Like there's so many guys there. Why would you do it?
You still have Ogbo.
Obo. We signed Joe Tryon Shoyinka.
Yep.
And I really do like Isaiah McGuire flashed a little bit, and I think like Alex Wright showed a lot of good things on tape last year.
Yeah, I like him.
I think like he could be poised to kind of be having like a breakout kind of season. So please, for the love of all that is holy, pick offensive players tomorrow.
Oh, please, let's get an offense going.
But all right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We're gonna get everybody out of here safely. Huge shout out to PT over here coming in. This is his first time producing for us. Did a great job.
He always does.
So big shout out to him. Thank you so much for being here.
Shout out, man.
Thank you to Kenny. Drove all the way from a different country to watch us take a defensive tackle.
Yeah, I got super high and super depressed, and I wanted to lay my head down. And, oh, man.
So, and a huge shout out to all of you guys, all 1.5K of you guys watching between the different platforms. Again, by far the biggest night we've ever had in our podcast history. So we appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with us for 4 freaking hours. It's not as easy as we made it look. No, just joking. Yeah. So it'd be a lot harder if you guys weren't here in the chat, keeping the chat going the whole time, talking to us, giving us stuff to bounce ideas off of. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. You got about 10 seconds left to go join the dog pack if you want a chance to win the Browns jersey.
Let's do it.
You can follow us on all the social media pages. Just search at the Dogs Podcast. Like and follow on YouTube, please. Thank you. And you can also just listen on Apple, Spotify, and Google. So I got to cover all my bases. But again, thank you guys for being here. Browns are on the clock. If you want our thoughts tomorrow, since we can't be live, join the Dogs. Mm-hmm. We'll be in the Discord. We just won't be live anywhere, but we'll be talking on the Discord probably all day leading up to the draft and the whole draft. So jointhedogs.com. Get into that Discord, guys. It's a ton of fun. And it's basically like what this YouTube chat was, only 24/7, 365. So I can't say enough good things about that. But we appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you guys sometime early next week.
Let's go find some strong beer.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is brought to you by Danger Coffee. Browns fans, we talk about how Danger Coffee is made free from mold toxins that are in 45% of the world's coffee, but that's not all that Danger Coffee has to offer. Mineral and nutrient deficiencies are a big deal. They make you feel sick, tired, stressed, and they can give you brain fog. These deficiencies negatively affect your immune system, your digestion, sleep, metabolism. Have you ever wondered why you get an initial burst from your coffee, but then you get that little crash not long after? Danger Coffee's patent-pending process remineralizes your body with more than 50 trace minerals and electrolytes, leaving you more energized, engaged, powerful. These micronutrients enter the cells to boost performance. They bind to toxins to provide detoxification support. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line, guys, is minerals matter, and most of us really don't get enough of them on a daily basis. Danger Coffee delivers micronutrients, plus it gives you access to the minerals you already have. Head to dangercoffee.com, use our code DOGS, DAWGS, for 10% off your order, and that code can be used over and over, so you get 10% off every order you make using code DOGS. It's time to start every day off with a cup of coffee that gets you going and actually keeps you going. dangercoffee.com, code DOGS.